Hello, welcome or welcome back. Today we will do a simple movement sequence. I will lead you through this sequence, through this lesson, and provide you with plenty of questions and hints. We will start in lying on the left side. Rest on your left side with your legs slightly bent, your knees bend a bit, and your hips bend a bit so that you can rest comfortably and in a stable position. And as always, take a moment to arrive on the floor, to sink to the floor. For your breathing to become even and at ease. And for a first movement, just simply lift your head a little bit. So you're lifting your head, and then we're interested in movement, so you lower your head again and you move and you observe. Observe how easy it is or how difficult it is to lift your head. Where do you feel tension? In which angle is your head angling up? Is your right ear coming towards the ceiling? Or is your right ear moving more towards your right shoulder? Is your head moving forwards or backwards or rotating? How do you help your head lifting? Do you breathe in? Does breathing in while you lift the head, does this help to breathe in? To fill the balloon while you try to squeeze it? Or does it make more sense to breathe out? Does your breathing help if you breathe out when you lift your head? When you lower your shoulder, when you press with your left side against the floor? How do you do that? So we move, but we also observe, we think, we sense, and we feel. Are we satisfied with the movement? Do we have ideas for the movement? How is it now just to lift your head and lower it? With your right hand, reach over your head to hold your left temple and lift your head with the help of your hand. So, how does this change the movement? If your arm helps to lift your head, where is the arm attached? Where's the origin of the arm? What's happening to your right side? How does having the arm wrapped around your head help with the lifting and also with the lowering? Can your head come down more gracefully? What easing function are you using? Do you start fast and end slow? Do you go with a constant speed? Okay, next time your head is resting, take a short rest, stay on your left side. Just take a short break on the left side. And then bring your attention to your right leg. So the right leg is a bit folded up, and start to lift your right leg, similar to the head. So instead of lifting the head, you lift your right leg as it is. So what do you lift first? Do you lift your heel first, or your forefoot, your foot, your knee? So the whole leg needs to up towards the ceiling again. There's so many possibilities to lift a leg, and how heavy it is. Or is it compared to your head? And of all the things you tried with your head, can you do the same with your leg? Then with your right arm, get hold of your right lower leg somewhere. So right lower leg, quite long. Starts at the knee, ends at the foot. So where do you hold your right lower leg to help lift the lower leg together with your hand? Is your arm long enough to hold your leg somewhere? And we rush into combining those movements. So lift your leg, your right leg, together with your head, and then lower your leg when you lower your head. So you lift and lower your head and your leg together. And or maybe you have already felt that. So there's a combo, a meaningful combination. So you could lift your right leg without the head, or maybe you can feel when you lift the head and the leg together, these two support each other somehow. It becomes easier. When you lift both together, to which extent, which timing, which directions exactly, which trajectories exactly, where do you press against? Do you still breathe out? Or do you lift on and out breath? So maybe that's a less forced way to incorporate the breath into this movement. And again, take a short rest. Now, get hold of your right lower leg again with your right hand. Somewhere where you can reach your lower leg and where you have the feeling you're holding it, you'll be able to support the leg in its lifting. And we would do a little bit of a funny thing, like a seesaw movement. So you lift your right leg together with your right hand and lower your head, or you lower your leg and you lift your head. So the arm somehow functions as a stick holding your leg and head apart. When you lower your head, you lift your right leg, and when you lower your right leg, you lift your head. Is that a seesaw movement? I think so, yeah? Strange combination, but worthwhile exploring and getting better at. Or if this feels very unusual, maybe take a short break, just a second or two, and then pick it up again. Until you have this feeling, yeah, I can do this. This is not a problem to me. I can do this movement, and oh yeah, actually I can feel how they connect the leg and the head. So you don't need to get up. That would be another lesson. But maybe you can really feel the pull, the leverage of your leg when you get it right. A sensation that's very worthwhile. If you catch the leg just in the right angle and with the right trajectory and with the right combination of your head, it becomes very easy to move around. But we will stay more in the realm of quietness and relaxed height, relaxedness. And we will take a break, so please come to roll onto your back. First time on the back in this lesson. Feel how it is now to rest on your back after we have done a couple of movements on the left side. And how do you rest now? How do you perceive yourself? What are your pains and aches? Or how well do you feel melted to the floor? And we will continue on the right side. I will also turn over to the right. I'm not being impolite, just doing the other side. So please come to rest on your right side. And take a moment to arrive on your right side. See how it is how it is different, for me more difficult, how it is different to be on that side. Maybe this side is easier, in which way? And then the first movement is to lift the head a little bit to see how it is. This is the wrong direction. Or is this the right direction? To lift the head a little bit. Maybe on an out breath. Or maybe you help with your left hand wrapped around the head. So that's certainly easier for the head. Yes, and take your time. We take our time to explore this movement. There's so many things to explore, so many variations. With the head, with your breathing, with where you press against, what you feel, the exact rotation or turning, or where you come up. And then shift your attention to your left leg and start to, if you haven't yet, lift your left leg. See how it is to lift your left leg. Or with your left hand, hold your left lower leg somewhere where it's a good place to hold it, supportive of your intention to help lift the head and the leg, or use the arm to help lift the leg, just like the arm helped to lift the head. And then we explore these two variations of number one, lifting the, I'm talking to the couch, number one of lifting the head and the leg together, or of a seesaw movement where when you lift the head, the leg lowers, and when you lift the leg, your head lowers. Where the left arm works like a stick or a towing rope in between the head and the leg. And you can switch from one movement or one exploration to the other, lifting the head and the leg or pulling off each other, seesaw movement, or lift only the leg or lift only the head. And you might observe that when you push with your right leg down to the floor, it's easier to lift the left leg up, or when you reach with your right leg downwards, it might become easier to lift the left leg and the head. And there's many things to explore, things that only you can find, yes, find out, discover and use. There's nobody who can tell you these things. You need to discover them on your own, or just like I do my best to create a situation where you can discover these things. So now please come to roll on your back again. Yes. Did this develop? Did this improve? Being on your back? And then again, please come on your left side. We have a couple of more things to do to complement the first couple of movements. We need to complete a sequence, a lesson, to make this lesson worthwhile. So you're on your left side. Please come back on your left side with your legs folded a little bit. And now, instead of lifting the head, move your head forwards so that your nose is coming closer to your right knee. Or you lift your head a tiny little bit and then you bend forwards. You bring your head, your mouth, your chin, your forehead, your eyes. What do you think of when you lower your head? You lower your head towards your right knee. Lots to look at, lots to discover and explore. Suddenly, a whole new world, a whole new door opened of things to look at. For example, you could again use your right hand to wrap it around your head and to guide your head into this forward motion. And you shorten your front side and lengthen your back side. And then with your right hand, take again your right lower leg or your right knee, your ankle, somewhere, your lower leg, where you have the feeling it's the best location. Maybe you have found the best location already, the most supportive place to place your right hand. And then move your knee upwards towards your face. And backwards again, or maybe a little bit more backwards. Maybe we can go a little bit into an extension as well. So forwards bending. And of course, yes, use your head. Always use your head. Move your head forwards to meet your right knee, or to come closer toward your right knee, and then backward, slowly, slowly. Not to rush, not to skip over things, but we want to see something, more of a train ride than a flight in a fast jet airplane. So slowly, slowly, or in a boat. Or maybe I just discovered I can use my left hand just as well to support the head, to do this flexion movement and coming back into the neutral resting position, or backwards, forwards and backwards. How do those two support each other, the leg and the head? And everything in between, of course. Again, there's things only you can discover. Yes? And then take a rest again. Now, get hold of your right leg again with your right hand, and we do the seesaw movement just as well if you haven't done it yet. So when you bring your knee closer to your throat, you move away, you move your head backwards, or when you move your knee downwards, you move your head forwards. As if the right arm is a stick, a placement holder, holding your spacing, a spacer, spacing your knee and your head apart from each other, and they play catch, reverse it. Or you could think of holding a bottle or a foam roller in between your chin and your knee. Don't drop the foam roller while you go forwards and backwards. Of course, in a mode of easiness, so always take a short rest if you feel strained, like a couple of seconds, and then pick it up again, and maybe it's easier after a short break, or the possibility of discovery has greatened, become larger. More likely to discover something interesting instead of feeling stressed or strained. Again, you might discover this is a great way to come into different postures, like sitting or even up to standing, but we will keep it small. We just play with the beginnings, movement. We are quite far away from movement initiation. We're doing quite large movements, but not the largest possibles. Just a bit up and down, forwards and backwards. And then it's time to take a rest on the back, at least as a transition to roll onto the right side again to explore the same thing on the right side. So please roll over your right side. Yes, see how it is to be on your right side now. For me, greatly improved, much more comfortable at last. And then start the same movement on this side. Lift the head slightly and bend the head. Bend yourself. What the chin or the lips, the mouth. Kiss the mouth to your left knee or the nose or the forehead. Does this change the movement? Depending on what you're thinking of. And then we also had the two variations with your left hand holding your left leg, if you haven't done that yet, and with your left arm helping your left knee to come up. Is it your left knee? Which part of your left knee? The upper part of your left knee, outer part, inside, lower part of your left knee, or do you think of your foot moving up? What do you think of if you start thinking of different landmarks on your knee or on your left leg, and how you bring your head towards your knee while your knee is moving towards your head? And maybe you discover that this is becoming more and more smooth, easy, pleasant, even maybe enjoyable if you do it slowly enough to enjoy yourself through movement. It's like a silent language, a silent way of talking, to move, to enjoy your movements, to enjoy sensing yourself moving. Like some people enjoy listening to themselves talking. We can enjoy ourselves listening to ourselves moving. And also the last variation with the seesaw movement, when your knee comes up, your head moves further away from your knee, or when your head comes closer to your knee, the knee is running away, yes? Seesaw, like as if you had a foam roller in between your head and your knee, and you don't drop the foam roller, but you also don't squeeze the foam roller, so the head and the knee keep a distance from each other while you move forwards and backwards. Yes, so what is it? The proof of the pudding is in the eating. The joy of the cake is in the eating. So we enjoy the lesson while we are at it, even though we will benefit from it afterwards. Okay, so please come to rest on your back. For the most part, we have done I have done all I wanted to show you. I've shown everything I wanted to show you, talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Now we take a short rest on the back, or instead of resting, you could roll on your left side and review the movements, the 6 or so movements we did. Review how they feel now at the end of the lesson, or you could be creative, start to do circles with your knee and with your head, or pull yourself to sitting with the help of your knee, or to roll around, up to you. Or like me, I decided to rest. To sense myself and to listen to myself and my surroundings. Okay, but before I nap away, it's time for us to part. And as a last thing, at least I need to come up to standing. And I think this turned out quite well. Good effect, nice lesson. Thank you so much for watching, for your support, for making these videos possible. It's only possible because of your support on Patreon or with direct payments. That's what support is about, money and participation, of course. So again, thank you so much for participating, for watching. I hope you enjoy the benefits of these lessons, or the things you can do with these lessons, this lesson, my lessons, and see you in the next video.